What it do? You're off in God's country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great outdoors. I should probably put my hat on. Two things that go together like Dan and Candy Crush.
or a Chevy C10 and a 2-lane road in the country.
I'm gonna start calling it Dandy Crush.
Brought to you by MeatEater and iHeart Podcasts.
We had Chase Rice on.
Good mustache, dude.
Dude, good.
Guy's got the best mustache.
Smelling like an artist.
Yeah, he smelled good.
He got a new record out. Outdoorsman. He goes all over the country chasing big bull and big whitetail.
There's a song on the record about ducks.
About Arkansas.
Literally about Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Y'all go check out his new record. He was fun to have on the couch. Hope y'all enjoy this episode. Thanks for hanging out in God's country. Peace. We're back, Music Row. Been a minute. We've got an elk chasing, big deer killing, duck hunting,
mustaching,
NASCAR tire changing, which I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I was gonna say, before you said the NASCAR thing, I thought you were about to be interviewing Riley.
Veiny.
Yeah.
No, those went away.
I'm saying he's veiny.
I know. Yeah, that dude's jacked.
We got Mr. Chase Rice on the God's Country couch this morning. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with us.
You smell good.
I just showered.
Same.
First time in a week.
I didn't shower this morning. I showered last night though.
I had to do it this morning.
But I did spray cologne.
You don't shower in the morning?
Not every morning.
Oh man, I have to.
Every morning?
Yeah.
Well, you're an artist though. You have to though.
I'm weird about it.
You have to be all clean.
Something happened as I'm getting older where I'm like, if it's hot outside or muggy, I'm like, I'm not going out there.
You know what
I shower every day. Dude, if I go outside, dude, I come in and my clothes that I have on that I just wear outside go into the dirty clothes pile and I take a shower. I do shower every day.
The thing is, if I'm out there doing it, like you were just talking about elk hunting and duck hunting, like if I'm doing that and living in that world, I'm fine. Like I don't need to do it.
1,000%.
Once I'm in it, like I'm going horseback riding backcountry in Montana next week, which I'm pretty fired up about. But like when I'm out there, I'm not going to need to like go in the creek.
You need some friends to go and co-ride.
I got invited by my buddy.
Can an invite? Can
you double invite?
I think he'd be pissed.
Yeah,
we'd all three be on one horse.
I'm into that.
Oh,
this is a big old
dude,
horse.
He smells good.
That's a big
I could ride a horse
to
to Chase Rice. Yeah, dude.
What are what is big one? The Walker.
Yeah,
the Clydesdale.
That'd be one pissed off Clydesdale.
Yeah, that's back be hurt.
They got
But anyway,
Clydesdales
while
in
I'm out
Montana.
there, I'm good. But here, if I'm like clean, I get from my truck into here, and I need a shower in here.
Same, dude.
It's a great intro into a segment that we call
What you mad at? Just tell us what it is. What you mad at? Is it your in-laws, kids, might be your boss man, or your neighbor's cat? Just tell us what you're mad at.
What you mad at, dude? I'm mad at the heat, bro. It is too dang hot outside in Tennessee, man. I am mad at it.
Dude, I was so mad at the heat that I talk with Evie about this a lot because she has an Airstream too. I bought an Airstream so I could live out west in the summer. I hate the heat that much that I go to Montana, Oregon. We have some shows out there in like 2 weeks. And I just cruise around out there.
So what like right now, what's the temperature in Montana?
Oh, probably 60s, maybe 50s at night. I mean, it's probably a little warmer now. Last time I was there, it was.
What are we doing, dude?
In the daytime, it's 70s, maybe hits 80, but it's dry.
Every time we go out there, we end up saying like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?"
Every time I go out there, I'll come back and I like leave a piece of myself in Montana, dude.
Yeah,
it's the greatest place I've been in the States. Well, probably
Montana,
it might be the greatest
Idaho,
state.
Wyoming, Colorado, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Best place to live.
Yeah,
and we're here, and I don't know why.
Same
music, dude. Nashville.
It is
country music.
This place is special. But I mean, I was driving in and down to Mumbrian, looking at Tin Roof, and then like looking at the left side where all the buildings are.
Yeah,
like am I allowed to say smoked weed?
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
sure, yeah. Okay.
I smoked reefer. I did the pot.
Yeah, the pots.
First time I ever did that was in that parking lot when it was gravel.
Do you remember that with the big
right
rocks?
there.
Yeah.
Everybody would drive their trucks up.
There was a motorhome down there that lived there for.
Yeah, man,
it was like
right.
my Airstream. My Airstream's still in Montana right now. Like that's how much I love it out there. But anyway, Nashville's changed so much.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember hating the heat like this when I was a kid. Maybe
I agree.
I'm getting
No,
older
I'm
and
with
I'm
you.
just becoming a pansy.
And I remember being hot, but I don't remember like getting out of the truck and being like, oh God,
I hate my life.
this is so hot. Like everything's dying. Everything's dying.
Yeah, they're not on top of the heat. On top of the heat, there ain't been no rain in like 6 years.
That's
It
what I'm
feels
saying.
like.
I'm mad at the heat.
Bro, I had
That's a good place to be though. When you're like, I'm so mad at the heat that I'm gonna go live somewhere else for a little while.
Yeah, true.
It's a
Yeah,
fun,
dude. If you're only mad at like, is that the only thing you're mad at?
well,
Like,
I mean, I'm mad at many things. I can go on, but it's your turn. What are you mad at?
well, I was gonna go the heat because my other one was kind of petty.
Oh, okay.
But, bro, Dan plays Candy Crush all the time now. He's obsessed with this
You're one
game
of
on his
those
phone.
guys?
Dude,
Candy
look.
Crush. We were at the lake, bro. I'm throwing him under the bus. We were at the lake, and
he's
he
playing
played
Candy
it
Crush?
all week long on family vacay.
What kind of lake situation?
First off, it's 1,000 degrees. All right.
could you go on a boat in the water?
Well, yeah.
He was playing it on the boat, dog.
dude.
Don't say you weren't.
Level
Don't say you weren't.
Sorry, I'm screaming. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah,
There was
right.
one level I was trying to get. Look, this is what
I don't. I'm mad at
time,
phone.
boys.
I'm mad
We
at
went-
phones.
so
at
look,
games on phones. Dude.
We flew. My wife and I took a
He is on
vacation,
their phone.
and there was no internet on the flight, and it was a long flight. She was like, "Here, freaking quit talking to me and
she
play
got you
this."
hooked.
And so she handed me her
Shut
phone.
up. She's like her kid. Like, please.
So I
quit
started
talking
playing it, and I was
play
like,
this game.
"Oh man, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed." And then she took her phone back, and I was like, I couldn't download it, right? So second we hit ground, I'm like, I download the thing. Well, the
Wait,
game's
and
real
when you went on
smart.
vacation on Cabo, you downloaded it and played it all in Cabo. Yes, it's exactly what happened. Guarantee you was, dude. This morning we were sitting here we were waiting on you to get here, and I was like, hey, he was playing a little ditty, and I was like, what song is that? It was like, and
Jurassic Park?
It is
That is Jurassic Park.
Right, we were wrong.
We were all wrong. He was playing Candy Crush.
I said Home Alone. He said
Home Alone. I was like, what is
It
that
is-
from? He's like, I was like, a movie? He was like this. He was like,
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
and I was like, what movie? He was
So
like,
how's I playing
Home
guitar
Alone.
and Candy Crush at the same
And
time?
Ray goes,
I'm gonna get dizzy bouncing my head back and forth between you two.
sorry. Ray goes, no, that's Star Wars, right? We're like, oh yeah, but no, it is.
It's absolutely Jurassic Park.
I just bought a Jurassic Park T-shirt at a thrift store in
That's mean.
somewhere in Wisconsin.
Mean.
Yeah, it was sick.
You still have that square body?
I do, but you're gonna need to look at what I drove here today.
Okay.
I made a mistake. I got drunk at Barrett Jackson.
I'm excited about it.
It's nice.
What is it?
Well, Austin Neal, he's my agent. He's also been one of my friends forever. We went to Barrett Jackson, and it's like I'm very.
Where do you go to that? Where's that at?
The one we went to was in Arizona.
Oh,
It's
so
like
they're
the
different
big one.
places. Okay.
But we went to Barrett Jackson.
Oh, Barrett Jackson's the big car.
Auction.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah.
But my dad always used to watch it on TV, so we watched the Barrett Jackson every day. It was
Is it
Barrett
still on
Jackson or
TV?
Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we used to watch it all the time too, but I
Barrett
hadn't seen
Jackson?
it.
No,
Yeah.
it's on the car channel. Whatever the
Yeah.
car channel is,
Oh,
it's on the
okay.
car channel every
Okay.
day. I was in a co-ride the other day and they had it on the TV
I would-
above.
Wouldn't
Oh,
be worth
yeah.
nothing.
I'm not a big fan of co-rides that have a TV on.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
or I'll
wouldn't
be
be
like
able
this.
to write.
Yeah, I can't
I
really
wouldn't
do
be able to
that.
write.
So if you're listening, don't turn the TV on while we're trying to co-ride.
We see this truck. It's a Chevy C30, but it has some bunch of new stuff going on. So I start reading all the stuff about it. I'm like, man, this thing just looks sick. I'm like, man, okay, I might do like 40 or 50 on something if it just gets, if it's the right feeling.
Yeah.
Plus, my dad used to watch it. My first Barrett Jackson, like, ooh, I'd make him proud, buy a car at
Sure,
Barrett
man.
Jackson. And in the next day, you're like, I might do 75. Might do 75. The next day, you're like, I might do 250.
So it's still
I might buy something for $1 million. It's crazy. That's exaggerating, but for a lot of people, it wouldn't be. For me, that would.
Yeah,
be. But it's crazy how your mind shifts in 2 days at that thing. You're just watching.
they gotta
Get all
know. They
excited.
gotta know that too.
Oh, they're not dumb.
Yeah.
But this thing rolls on the block, and I just panicked. And tequila, and
So how do you
got
bet at a Barrett Jack? Like, I mean, not bet, but how do you bid?
so
Is
you
it
have
just
your
like
card,
you
you
just-
have your number. You're wearing it like a little lanyard, and they're going. We were on stage because we wanted to see it up close again, and we just wanted to be in the heat of it. And the other guy was like in row 6 over here, and I'm just looking at him like, stop,
please.
Dude. Like, it's getting close to where my limit was, and which was already way past what my original limit was. And
alcohol limit, your alcohol intake.
My alcohol intake
was way past.
Made my other limit go way high.
Courage, dude.
But we're on the stage, and they're like going back and forth, and my buddy looks at me. He's like, "You're gonna get this truck, dude." And it's the most nervous I think I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And finally I get it. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What did I just do? I'm like thinking about what I'm going to tell business management the next day.
Yeah.
Like, we're on this thing. We're trying to save money, yada, yada, yada. And I just did that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're like, it's going up.
Sometimes you guys
But yes, I do have the square body.
Sometimes you just got to do stuff and ask for forgiveness later, man. It's part of life.
Well, it's my money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get over it.
No doubt. Is that how those things go down though? Like, is it like it's a 3-day thing? Like, is it like a weekend thing?
That was 3 days, maybe 4, but I think it's 3 or 4 days.
So do they wait and put like the ones at the end?
Yeah, and that was Saturday night, 2 hours after the prime cars went. Like, I don't know what the most expensive one, a few million at least. And
for a vehicle, dude.
We got lucky that it was a couple hours after that.
Yeah.
Because the guy runs up to me, he's like, man, I had 240 grand in that truck. You just got a deal. It's an everyday driver. It's the only truck that when I'm driving down my driveway, which is gravel, I'm like going like 2 miles
Trying
an hour,
not to kick
making
anything
sure
up.
no rocks are popping up. It's tough to drive. It's the only car that I've ever had that I'm like very careful
What's
with.
under the hood?
It's got a big Duramax diesel they dropped in it. It's a 2013 chassis, GMC chassis, but they dropped a 72 C30 on top of it with a new Duramax diesel. And it's got 600 miles on it.
So, dude, it's got AC, good brakes and the whole thing.
I wasn't hot today coming in. It's like that. So my K10's in the shop because the AC goes out every summer.
Last time I saw you in that truck, your AC was...
It's every summer it goes out. I'm like, guys, fix this thing.
Where were we when we pulled up and we were eating like Panda?
Brentwood. Yeah, he pulled up in that truck. I was like, that truck is awesome. Yeah. And then you hopped out and I was like, that's freaking Chase Rice, dude.
Did I come into Panda Express?
Yeah.
It was like Panda or like an ice cream shop or something.
I do love Panda Express.
It was Panda. It was right there in Franklin, like as you're headed out to your
Cool Spring.
Panda
Cool
Spring.
Spring.
Gas, dude. Panda's so gas. When we when Jordan's like, hey, you know what? I'm not really hungry. You just figure dinner out for yourself.
Paytonsville.
Bro, I'll go to Panda.
That one?
No, I just go to the one in Spring Hill.
Oh,
real close to it. I'll smash 3 entree, 2 sides.
What do you get?
2 lo mein. I get 2 lo mein, 2 honey.
2 lo mein.
Dude, I go hard on Panda. 2 lo mein, 2 honey chicken, and the honey walnut shrimp.
No orange chicken?
Orange chicken.
No orange?
Two orange chicken, honey walnut shrimp. And then if I'm feeling myself, I'll do a
couple crab rangoons.
Cheese rangoons. The crab cheese rangoons, dude.
I don't know what that is, but the orange chicken is fire.
Cheese rangoons are fire.
That's those little dumpling looking.
Oh, yeah.
The star
little
star bites.
Those are so good.
Was your dad like your upbringing? Was your dad like a car guy? Was he really?
He raced Rolex, or no, it's called the Rolex 24 hour now, but it was just a 24 hour Daytona back then. He raced it in I think 68, 69 or 69, 70 or maybe 71, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Dang, that's awesome.
And he won his class, which was the lower class, but he won that, and he always wanted, we were just talking about this Daytona, he always wanted a Daytona because of that. I remember like vacation 8th grade. That was back when you could buy them in the shops. He had a Daytona on. I'm looking at it. That was my first realization of what a Rolex Daytona even was. Explains to me, man, I just always wanted one of these ever since we won at Daytona. Now it's sponsored by Rolex. And Paul Newman had one.
Yeah.
He helped Paul Newman work on his cars and stuff.
Are you
back
serious?
In the day. Yeah, I got pictures of my dad and Paul Newman together. It's wild. But
does he have the watch on?
I'm sure he does. Yeah, that's all he wore.
I
don't know if you can see it in the picture. I'll pull it up in a minute. But and then my manager knew that story, so he ended up buying me this, which we were talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, he raced.
Super sharp. So did you actually race, or were you just kind of like in the thing?
In NASCAR?
Yeah.
No, I was a pit crew guy.
Gotcha.
So I was the guys, they started bringing in some ex-football college athletes, whatever sport it was, to the pit crews a couple of years before
basically.
me.
Well, you won't say it, but that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, just athletes. They want a faster pit stop.
Yeah.
And so the Hendrick Motorsports brought in like 9 or 11 guys, I can't remember what it was, to be the first guys to like see if we could do a whole pit team, just a training program. So we did that. Within like 6 months, 2 of our guys were up on the Cup teams, like Jeff and then Junior, I think.
Cup team, dude. I don't know nothing. I've watched one race in my life. Cup is like the big series.
That's Jeff
like
Gordon.
the pro.
That's Dale Earnhardt.
Okay,
all those guys. So we got up pretty fast. I never actually ended up going over the wall for Jimmy or Jeff or Mark Martin or Junior.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you're talking
being the guy on race day.
Okay.
I was
that jumps the wall.
We
and puts
started
the tires
ARCA,
on.
then we got a nationwide truck, all that. I was doing that, and then I ended up leaving to go do Survivor right around that time where I was becoming the guy to. And I wasn't committed to it. Like I was miserable, to be honest. We were making $17,000 a year, living in a hotel, and I was writing songs all the time in the hotel. And my roommate hated me. He ended up being Dale Jr.'s Jackman forever. We're good now. He played football in Nebraska. He hated me because I would just go home and write songs every day in the hotel, and he's like, "Shut
put the guitar away."
Man. And but that was when I was like, I have the sickest job in the world. My dad raced. He would kill me if I ever gave this job up because I was going to end up on one of the Cup teams. And I had Survivor pop up. I was like, this is a good opportunity to go make a little money, maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
And then maybe come back and like move to Nashville. Yeah. That's actually exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Had your dad passed before you did Survivor?
Yeah, he did right before that. I did Survivor in 10. He died like 2 years before that. So I was miserable in life.
Oh, for sure.
Like I just lost football.
Yeah.
I just lost my dad. I was writing songs, trying to it was weird because I didn't party in college. I was like the guy that was like Fellowship of Christian Athletes leader.
Yes, yeah, bro, yeah.
Had my life together. He died, lost everything. And then it was like moved here and I partied.
Yeah.
I partied hard.
I remember you being that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting after it. Now it's like, it's weird because passing Tenerife I was talking about earlier, it wasn't like a conscious decision to stop going out so much. It just, friends changed. We started golfing more. And it was like, I remember hearing about guys like, I'm going to go golf today. And I'm like, no, golf. Let's go downtown on rooftop bars. Yeah. And now I'm the other guy.
Same.
Which is awesome. I love golf.
No, I'm the other guy too, for sure. I enjoy being the other guy.
Yeah.
Golf, and we never went mega hard, honestly, as far as in the drinking lane. But I'd rather, you can't get up early if you're drunk the night before.
No.
Great segue into, you actually say that on your on the tune, the Hunting on Christmas song. Arkansas, dude. Yeah, I listened to that this morning and I was like, this guy has duck hunted in Arkansas. You can tell.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about that too. I've never heard like an ode to duck hunting like that. Like there might be songs out there, but like a song to the duck state, like I've never heard that song, and I've never experienced it until this past year. And like I've been duck hunting a little bit here and there, but like, dude, I ain't been Arkansas duck hunting until this year, and it deserves its own duck hunting song.
Yeah,
like it is that good.
Well, it's funny because like I didn't actually duck hunt growing up. I was elk, deer, dove, stuff like that, turkeys.
You elk hunted when you were little?
Well, no, that didn't start probably till I was 30.
Oh, okay.
So 8 years ago.
Okay.
Deer was my main deal, deer and turkey. But then I got Jack, my black lab, and I was like, I know I'm not going to dive headfirst into duck hunting unless I get a dog. Like I'd rather work the dog than kill ducks.
Yeah. And that'll get you. That'll make you like. I've got a chocolate lab, and he don't duck hunt. He'd be a hell of a duck dog.
Yeah.
But he's a hell of a frisbee dog now. And,
well, yeah, you just got to go.
But I can see how if you're like, man, I want to go duck hunting, the way to dive in is to get a dog and train it to duck hunt. And then just to want to watch the dog work, you want to be out there more.
That got me more into it. Like calling and stuff, you don't want me to call. Shooting, I can shoot.
Same. We're terrible.
But working the dogs is where it's at for me. But that all started with a song on my last record called Oklahoma. I never wanted to write a hunting song. I just think, unless you do it right, they're cheesy.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I very much agree.
But now,
and even if you do it right, sometimes they're still kind of cheap.
Oklahoma started because of a duck hunting trip. I literally couldn't leave. Like Cody Cannon from Whiskey Myers showed up. Dan Henderson, the fighter, showed up. And I was like, going to see a girl in Texas. She was getting a little wishy-washy on me for New Year's like 3 years ago. I was like, all right, well, she don't want to hang out with me. I'll just hang out with the coolest guys ever and keep killing ducks.
Yeah.
That's how I wrote Oklahoma. And then we just kept hunting Arkansas, all that stuff. So it's like JD is actually the guy that owns a place I go in Oklahoma. It's called Falco. And he's the guy talking in the intro.
Oh, yeah. It's cool.
Arkansas.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I was like, it doesn't sound like you, but it was I could tell it was a good story.
That's JD. And he lives in Arkansas, but he works in Oklahoma during duck season. And that's how that all happened. It's like I'm not overthinking it anymore. It's like we wrote a song called Arkansas.
Yeah, man.
Let's put it on the record.
And a song called Tennessee. You're just naming states.
Tennessee, Carolina can, Oklahoma. I have a song called Virginia that I'll probably never put out.
Look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Every album's going to have a state song. Eventually, I'm going to be able to sell out places in all those states.
I'll remember next time your album cycle comes around, I'll just look at the states you've mentioned and be like, all right,
Mississippi,
Georgia,
Florida.
Georgia.
Got this idea called Kentucky home.
Yeah, I enjoyed the and we're bouncing around here. I think this is mega loose. So if there's something you want to stick to, let me know. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep doing this. Yeah, I enjoyed how to explain this. I hadn't really thought it out yet, but kind of the organicness of the record. It was very like acoustic driven and even vocal driven. And I feel like that's a kind of a change for you, like to really lock into. It was almost like an Appalachia kind of feel at times. There was some bluegrass mixed in things, kind of influences. There was fiddle on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this time were you just like, man, I'm going to do what I want to do?
We did that on the last one. That was the start of it. It was like dipping our toes in. Not really dipping our toes. Like we kind of dove in head first with Oscar. Speaking of writing and stuff, like when we used to try to write, like you knew I always wanted to write real stuff.
Sure.
I was just so locked into the poppier.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
You couldn't.
I did it, but I never put the stuff out.
Right.
Bro, you made so much money off cruise. Why would you ever try to do anything different?
Well, that cruise sucked me into that world, which is fine. Like I look at my 28-year-old self, I'm like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
I didn't know what I was doing. But now it's like this one. We wrote all the songs, no tracks. Everything was on guitar.
Yeah.
And then I played a bunch of stuff I worked with Jay Joyce for a couple songs. He didn't want to do the full record, and we had a cool conversation about it. It was just really honest. It's like, cool. Well, I want one person to do an album. I've never had that. And we'd already talked with Oscar. So Oscar was sitting in my living room. We'd never met before.
He's a killer, dude.
He's unbelievable. And he says, where do you want to do this thing? And I was like, man, I just don't want to do a Nashville studio. I don't like the vibe. I want to do something different. And he just spun around his chair, looked up in my living room. He was like, what's wrong with this? And that's when I knew, I was like, he gets exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so we started at, what we realized on the last record was everything was too big. And then most of the songs would be like, all right, let's take it back to a guitar and then have the band follow that, acoustic guitar. And that's how we kind of figured out our formula for that one. Next record, we did at Oscar's studio at his house. It's still a house vibe, so it was cool. Same thing. We already knew it. Like, I'm going to play this on guitar. You guys just start playing along and see what happens.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds.
And that's how they were written. So why would we not keep it that way?
For sure.
I love what like watching artists who are in tune with what they're doing, and you can tell it by watching the progression of records. Like you talk about it in your bio when, like at 22, you think you're trying to do this because that's the stage of life you're in. When you're 25, the next record, but now you're what 38.
38.
Yeah, and
I mean 30.
Yeah,
we're all 30 in here. We're all 30 in here, man.
Man, you can you can tell, like, and that's the cool thing about it is like you can see the maturity through all of that, and when you talk about like becoming the man you are now that your dad always wanted you to be, you can hear that. And dude, and my favorite song off the thing is UN85, and I listened to it last. Dude, that's a great song, man, and that's a real song for dudes who have that relationship with their dad like that, who their dad's their best friend, and I'm the same way, man. Like we were at my parents' house the other day, and my mom had this like old TV sitting on a stand with a VCR under it, and she was playing old tapes, and I was looking at my dad when he was 35, 36, which I'm 36 now. And me and my little sister jumping off the dock, the lake, and I was like, dang, dude, I'm him now. Yeah. Like that's I'm a spitting image of him. I'm cut from the same cloth, man. And to hear that come out in UN85 was a pretty cool moment to listen to and to hear that. And it's very well written and a great picture of what you're feeling in that thing.
Yeah, that was Lori's idea. Lori, like, we'd never written together before. We ended up writing 4 songs. All 4 of them are on the record. UN85, it was the first song we wrote that second day. She was like, I had this idea, like, what would it look like if you were with him back then or he was with you now? So we wrote it. Didn't really affect me that much. I was like, okay, that's really cool. Definitely cutting that. And then I got in the studio and I tried to sing the vocal and I fell apart. Yeah, I just fell apart completely. And because I was thinking of it in a sad way.
Sure.
Because I never got to have a beer with my dad. I never got to hang out with him as man to man. And then Oscar came in and like, that's how close him and I are. Like he understands my life. He doesn't just understand me as a singer. And he came in and was like, dude, it's a celebration song. Like, what would that look like if you were sitting there with your pops back then or now, doesn't matter. And you got to have that drink together. Sure. And it's not even about a drink. It's about just a man-to-man conversation.
For sure, no doubt.
And so that changed my whole mindset on the song. It's actually changed my whole mindset on my life with my dad. Like, I don't think about him like it's sad anymore. I think about it like, I got 22 years with him. I mean, I'm at the point now where we're getting to the age where, sucks to say, but dads are going to die.
Oh, yeah.
Parents are going to die. And I'd be there now anyway. Like, it would happen at some point. It just happened to me when I was younger. But now I have a whole new perspective on what my relationship was with him, and it's a lot because of that song.
Wow, that
feels like a life changing turn when you can look at it as like, man, I lost my dad. Instead of looking at it like that, you're like, man, I got 22. I got a bunch of time with my dad.
I did,
and great memories that are going to last a lifetime. You know, yeah. That feels like a maturation process into that feeling for sure.
And that song was a big part of that.
Yeah, that's cool. Isn't that cool how songs can do that?
Go Down Singing got me, dude.
It's a great one.
I love that one, man. I when it that was the first song that played, and I was like, yeah,
it's funny you said you listened to 85 last. That's the last song on the album. Go Down Singing is the first song on the album. It's the first one you listened to.
Man, it's good.
Yeah, when I saw that title, I was like, dang, man,
dude,
dang, that's a good one.
Lake Pendergrass. We were in Wilmington, North Carolina, did a writing retreat, and that was, I'll never do on there again because I know so many people and I love Jimmy so much. There's a bar. Like, it was a hard writing retreat, but we got Hall River and Go Down Singing out of it. And Jimmy shut down the pirate side of Neptune's, which is a local restaurant. The other side of it, there's a pirate bar. And he shut it down. The mood lighting was awesome in there. We had a videographer and a photographer in there, and we wrote the thing in like 27 minutes.
Wow.
He had the idea already, and I was like, yes, that is perfect. And then while we were, I don't think we were recording it on that session. And then that week in the studio, I had Bad Day to Be a Cold Beer pulled from the radio, which to me was like, this is the only one that's going to be able to play on radio. If this dies at 47, which it did, you're not getting anything else. I got nothing for you. Talking to the label. We didn't get any votes for anything on CMAs maybe, which isn't really shocking, but it's like bench sheet maybe, I don't know, but didn't get anything there. And then they didn't approve the budget for the album. I think later that week they ended up approving it, but it's like,
is that where you were like,
you didn't approve a budget for an album that I'm already in the studio recording?
Right.
Like, I'm not going to hear you guys tell me no. I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
You guys want another song off this last record, and I'm not bashing the label. This was just a disagreement we had, and our breakup was awesome. Like, I saw Loeb in Australia, and it's like, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
So the relationship with the label was great, with the exception of that 1 week was just everything hit the fan. And I looked at Oscar. I was like, we're going to go down singing.
Yeah.
We have to. I signed a couple sheets of paper and finally it says sign
a couple more.
Sign a couple sheets of paper. And finally thought I'd won. Sony Broken Bow. Turns out I'd sign a couple more until them I was done. Sony Broken Bow. And I'm not bashing Sony Broken Bow, but I got out of those deals.
Yeah, be real.
So easy.
Part of it.
Signed one sheet of paper for each deal to get out of them, and I'm free now.
Well,
I never felt locked up at Broken Bow or Sony. I was doing what I wanted to do. I'll be clear about that. And they were letting me. I just don't know if I'm a label artist.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like I am.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The landscape of what a label has changed so much. I mean, it's changed so much in 2 years, but if you look in 10 years, which we've all kind of been here for that long, longer than that, but
it's changed as much as them buildings going up on the Mumbry.
It is a different deal, man. And I always think about it if I'm the label, like, and Jordan's part of the label too, so I have to be careful. But it's like, man, it's like what. I mean, I get where they're coming from as far as like wanting to win and wanting to make the most money.
Go Down Singing was just going to be a song. It wasn't even going to be a song on the deluxe version of I Hate Cowboys, which is what this whole thing was going to be.
What was it called? What'd you say it was called?
Go Down Singing?
No, you said Cowboys?
I Hate Cowboys and All Dogs Go to Hell. That's the name of the last record.
So this was going to be a deluxe for that.
It was going to be a deluxe.
Interesting.
And then when we added Go Down Singing, I looked at Oscar. I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm getting out of this deal.
Yeah.
I've decided that right now. Let's make a whole new album. So we ended up booking more days. We recorded Go Down Singing, the last song of the first group of songs. I think we did 7 songs that day or that 2 days. And that's when I was like, okay, let's do a whole nother album. And this is all with the freedom of not having a label to tell you what to do. Let's do a whole nother album. Go Down Singing's, let's call it Go Down Singing, because that's now the whole mindset that I've got.
Yeah. So cool.
And then let's do speaking of songwriters, like they don't get credit unless you're on radio, they're not getting money. And then let's do the I Hate Cowboys record and the Go Down Singing record all together because they're very similar. And let's do them all acoustic. That'll be the third record. And let's feature the songwriters. So that we just did that the last 3 days.
Awesome.
And that's what it's going to be. I Hate Cowboys is out. Go Down Singing's out. 2 separate albums. Then we're going to mash them together, all acoustic, featuring the songwriters.
That's
and then
cool,
I'm done
man.
with this phase of what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Then you're going to move to Montana permanently?
If I do that, I might disappear
Trouble.
forever.
Bro, we'll come out there, dude. We will come out there, dude. Just book us a week during elk season.
Well, we
come
wrote
out.
a lot of the I Hate Cowboys record in Montana. We're going to write a lot of the next album in Colorado, which I haven't. I'm playing Red Rocks August 31st. The 1st to the 5th, I'm staying out there and doing a write and retreat.
Nice.
And like I said, the way I'm writing songs now, the thing about it is a lot of credit to these songwriters that are on these albums, especially moving forward, because they're not writing it with the mindset of we're going to get a radio hit with me.
Man.
I don't know if I'm going to have any more radio hits.
Yeah,
If I
writing
do, that's
songs.
cool.
Sure.
I would love it.
Sure.
But I'm not chasing it.
No.
If it happens, it happens. But I'm looking at these writers in the rooms and I'm like, guys, you know what this is. I want songwriters to write with me because they know they're going to be on a great album.
Yeah.
And we're going to write great songs, not because we're chasing a radio
Well,
hit.
thanks for doing that. I mean, just because honestly speaking, for songwriters, I hope and wish more artists would do that. And I don't mean to sound like like I'm trying to just catch a couple crumbs from the table of Chase Rice up there. But like as a writer, we need y'all as much as y'all need us. And you're a real life songwriter,
100%.
so it's not like you're just this one guy that cuts outside songs. I'm saying we need each other, and I appreciate you taking up the fight for us as well.
Yeah, it's a tough battle because, like you said, you guys want hits, but if you're writing with me, that's probably not the first. That's not the first thing that's going to be on anybody's mind. It's going to be, let's write a great song, and that's why I love writing with the guys and girls that I wrote with on the last record.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, man, we didn't talk about radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to write a song.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Trying to write a great song.
it's going away a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting to see where it is in 5 years.
Yeah.
To see what.
I think it's just shifting into something else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, so many people have access to great music. They just want great music.
Right. So, what do you feel like is the answer to? Me and Reid talk about this a pretty good bit. Like, we've been lucky enough to kind of be on the other side of it. Have a relationship with certain artists and be able to write songs with those artists. What do you think the answer? And this is a mega heavy loaded question for like dudes like we were now that show up to town with a pocket full of songs and try to get a deal. Is it possible? I honestly don't know if it's possible to come and do that because rent's so dang high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what an answer is, but I know what I would do. And I would do exactly what I'm doing right now.
Mhm.
I wouldn't chase radio.
Wouldn't chase a label deal.
I wouldn't chase a label deal. They're going to come to you if it's good enough.
Mm.
And then you're going to have the power to say yes or no. I would write the greatest, best songs that I can possibly write, create my own thing. Like when I started FGL, Sam Hunt, I heard him on the way in. Morgan Wallen, I heard one of his songs. and a Kane Brown song on the way.
So the radio works in the truck, evidently.
That's all I got in that truck. But
and AC.
But I could have seen myself 10 years ago being like, "Ooh, this is a cool song. I want to write one like that so I can maybe be on the radio."
Yeah.
All I thought today was like, when I heard Sam, I was like, there was a time where I was trying to do what Sam was doing.
Yeah.
But I was stealing from myself, like, and from him. It's like, but I wasn't doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't creating anything for myself. So it screwed me.
Yeah.
I was just a cheaper version of some other artist.
Wow.
And
you're dropping some truth bombs in
I
here,
would
dude.
tell every artist to just come to town, write the best songs you can, stop trying to chase radio, because if you don't chase radio and you write a great song, it still can play on the radio.
1,000%.
And it's going to be on the radio and people will be like, oh, I know that guy because I love his albums and I love his music, and he created something that I can believe in him and not just a one radio song. Like, I think a lot of people know me as the guy that sang Eyes on You, Drinking Beer, Ride, which was a crazy cover that I did. And that's wild to me. Like, but you're seeing it. Our opening shows, it's weird. Our opening shows with Dirks, people want to hear those because they don't know the other stuff. They're there for Dirks, most people.
Right.
And our headlining shows are completely different.
Wow.
Like, they sing along the Ready, Set, Roll, but they want to hear Fireside. Yeah. When I play them Go Down Singing, which they didn't even know because I just put it out that week in Filer, Idaho, a few weeks back. They didn't know it, but they shut up. Wow. Like, oh, I believe this dude.
Yeah.
And they want to hear the new stuff, I think.
God, it's got to feel good to know that you've come full circle to a place where you can just be honest and that the fans want to hear it.
Dude, and being able to play and go play Red Rocks and play those songs.
Oh, man.
Like, that's going to make different. That moment even.
No offense, that's different than Ready, Set, Roll. You know what I mean? That's a different feeling out there.
Bro, Red Rock, have you ever played Red Rocks?
With Dirks in 14.
Dude, that place is spiritual, man.
It's
and to go be able to do what you want to do there and sing the songs, your truth in that arena.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not an arena, but it's the arena setting. Like, in that environment, man, that's going to be a crazy moment for you.
It's going to be way different than last time. Because last time I saw a video and I'm like, my old tour manager showed me a video of us in 14 and I'm like up in the crowd doing all the whole thing.
Up on the rocks.
Yeah, I'm like going crazy trying to get them fired up. This one's going to be very different.
That's awesome, man.
I saw Ryan Bingham at Red Rocks. I'd never seen a show from there. Yeah, I just played it that one time. And I wanted to see a show because it's Red Rocks. So absolutely. I saw Bingham at Red Rocks a couple, month, whatever ago. And it was so awesome.
Huh.
And I think he played like 12 songs in an hour and a half. Like, he jams a lot.
Wow.
He's got a little jam band in him. And it was just awesome. And it made me want to jam more. We have Oklahoma where we play for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Fireside, we started jamming. It's just, we want to have fun up there.
It's a very musical place. Like, you want to hear music.
Dude,
I want to see OAR.
You want to hear playing. You want to hear guitars. You want to hear. Yeah.
The thing I remember is going in is we were literally going in that 1-lane or 2-lane road, but it's just a road that goes all the way back to this.
Stuck with traffic.
Dude, there's like mule deer kind of popping up around. I mean, you're looking at this at the amphitheater, and then you're looking at mule deer to your right. I'm like, kind of nice out here.
It's sick out there. So we're gonna do that show and then stay and write for 4 days.
Nice, that'll be sweet. What did let's switch gears. What about talk to us about elk hunting? I feel like I've watched you kind of come into that and it take over your soul a little bit.
Oh yeah. Last year I did 44 days. So I started elk hunting was
this
perfect
man ain't got
for
no
me.
You ain't got no kids, do you? There ain't no way you have kids.
No wife, no kids.
Walk into my house, you'll know I don't have a wife. But it was perfect for me because first year I didn't see an elk, didn't hear one. Second year I saw one. Third year got close to one. Fourth year killed one. And so like made me I was fully
nice progression there.
Yep. And then I killed one for 5 years in a row. Whether 3 years I did good, 2 years I got lucky, and then last year I'm like, I'm good at this now.
Yeah.
44 days I got 3 tags: Colorado, Oregon, and Montana.
Ooh,
bro, the West will make you eat them words. I'm good at this now. Though.
Colorado, we got close,
words.
Couldn't get a shot, and that was just nobody's fault.
You bow hunting all these?
All bow.
Okay.
And then Montana, I did everything right. like 4.5 hours, got in there in the rain, got about a 30-yard shot on this bull, reared back, smoked it, like middle high lungs, because I wanted to stay away from the shoulders because I couldn't get a range on him, put my 50 on his belly and just sent it.
Sure.
And it hit like it hit a target. And I was using these new expandables that Cam Haynes got me on. And I just looked at it. I was like, well, that was weird, but he should be dead. Like I've never seen my arrow not disappear through a bull.
Yeah.
And we tracked it and never found it. So I had the worst year elk hunting ever last year as far as results, but I had the most fun I've ever had, and I didn't kill a bull, but I learned a lot. So we're going back at them this
44 days in the mountains, man.
All the other ones were like 6 days, and I killed. I knew the year was coming. You always have in your mind when you're on a roll.
Oh, yeah.
When's it going to come?
For sure.
It go well for me.
Last time I spent 44 days away from home hunting, I got broken up with when I got back.
So did I.
Thank God I got. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
I had the time of my life.
Oh, dude,
it was awesome.
We've never done it. We've never done it with our bow. We've been out there. I mean, that's like bucket list for me is to go hike the mountains with my Matthews on my back and go try to.
It's the best hunt in the world.
And just like we went to the Tetons a few years ago in September.
That's Reed's wife. Do you know that?
I did not.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, in case you're
my
bad. Not me and
that's
him.
why I said thank God I got broken up with.
We didn't go to the Tetons.
let me to her. But we were hiking the Tetons in the middle of the rut, dude. And I ain't ever.
You weren't hunting. You were just hiking.
I was just hiking.
It's incredible,
dude. The only thing I wanted to be doing, I mean, we were hiking, and the only thing I wanted to be doing, like I told her we were on this hike out of the mountains, and we had 4 different groups of bulls just hammering around us. Oh. And I was like, dude, and in that moment, I mean, I was on cloud 9 right then. I was like, but I can't imagine having a pack on my back and my bow in my hand and trying to figure out which one to go after. Like that will be unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to listen over. It's funny because you'd be like in the middle of 4 different groups of different herds of elk, and you're just like, you could probably get within 20 yards of all of them because you don't have a bow. If you have a bow, it changes the game. I don't know what it is. Like,
you got any? You had any grizzly encounters in Montana?
No. I hadn't had some big brown bear encounters in Alaska fishing, but that got pretty normal. Like we ended up seeing like 10 over a couple of days of fishing backcountry. And the scariest one there was we were walking out.
Wait, tell me about where you went. I'm super curious because I'm kind of dipping my toes in the Alaskan fishing scene.
We were in King Salmon, Alaska, and they took us out on a boat, and dropped us on a pond, and then we fished a river.
There's a place called there's a town called King Salmon, Alaska.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sick as that.
Red Dog Bar or Red something bar we went to. That place was like everything you dream of in Alaska. But speaking of brown bears, we'd gotten used to them because they were around. First one we saw, we're in the river, and it comes up within 20 yards of us. Me and John are just looking at each other like, what is going on? And she's like, the guy's just like, hey bear, and he moseyed on, and that's when
that's a good northern
hey bear.
It was freaky at first, but we were walking out the second day, and 2 cubs and a mama were walking a couple 100 yards away in the same direction as us.
When it gets, I don't know why that's when it gets sketchy.
I don't know what we were doing, but you're going in and out of tundra, so you're covered and stuff, and you come out and it's wide open, covered and stuff, come out it's wide open. So we lost the bears. We didn't know where they were. And that's not a good feeling. And then 20 yards behind us, we turn around and one of the cubs pokes out. And that's when you start freaking out. You're just like, do not let this cub, because the cubs are curious.
Were you between the
mom was right behind them, and then the cub stopped. The other cub popped out, and she was behind him somewhere. We never saw her, but we got the hell out of there fast.
Yeah.
You're not running from a bear though.
We were, no, heck no. That thing about run downhill from a bear, like, what do you do? Like I've always heard run down here. I've always heard just try to be as big as the bear. Like I don't think there's anything,
guns.
Yeah, I don't know what you
had no guns.
No guns. She had bear spray.
We were in Montana hunting this section and it had elk. There's a herd on it in public land, and we went up, and we knew there were bears in the area, and there had been a bear sighting there a few weeks before, but they opened back up, and it was really only one of the only public tracks that everybody knew that had a herd on there. So me, Dan, and my brother-in-law went up, and we're seeing just picked clean skeleton, like piles of like this.
Well, it's why they were in there. There were elk getting shot in there over the past.
Yeah, and they say bears out there will go to gunshots now because they're so used to them, and they'll know that there's going to be a gut pile there. So anyway, we're hunting them, and we're watching this herd of elk on the other side of public on private just work this mountain. And kind of funneling down. There's like a cliff that we're like, all right, well, we're kind of pinching them into. They're going to jump this public fence. We're going to get a shot right here. Snowing pretty hard. Dan's kind of behind us a few hundred yards, maybe a couple hundred yards, just kind of glassing. And me and my brother-in-law are walking up, and I'm walking, kind of paying attention, kind of not, just watching these elk. And I end up running into he's in front of me, and I run into the back of him. And I was like, bro, what are you doing? He goes, grab my gun. Get my pistol. And he's got his 270, but he's like, get my pistol. So I reach in his pack, get his pistol. I was like, what's going on? And I look around him, and I see, it's like somebody put a basketball, like a men's size basketball, into the snow, and then just put bear claws on the top of it. And I was like, is that what I think it is? Is that a bear track? He was like, that's absolutely a grizzly track. So as we were stalking these elk, there was a grizzly in front of us who were doing the same thing. Yeah, and about 100 yards in front of us is this group of trees and forest in front of us, which is the only way to get down. We've never seen one in the wild, but bro, we Charlie's Angeled down that slope to the. I mean, like it was me, Dan, and my brother-in-law like this, like, and we were pissed off at each other. They're like, we need to go this way, That's what
just because we
knew there was a grizzly in the area, man, and on that tract of land, like on that little section, there has been attacks, bad news stuff happening there.
Yeah, them brown bears in Alaska are used to people. Grizzlies in Montana or wherever you're at, they don't like when people.
And I feel like I have this feeling that I'm gonna go down by a grizzly or a rattlesnake.
Oh God!
I feel like that's how I'm gonna go. I mean, that's a tough way to go, but
very good.
No, I don't want to know how any of those end.
That's what I remember the most about. After seeing that thing, it's like normally the three of us are hunting together. It's like you and your brother. It's like you'd be like, man, I think we just need to kind of skirt left in order to get back to the truck. Let's take this trail. And you'd be like, all right, man. Even if you disagreed, you'd be like, all right, man. Well, or if he disagreed. But with this, it was like every question that came up was like, life or death. And it'd be like, we got to go left to go to the truck right here. But no, dude, if we go left, we're going right by where that. I mean, it was just like everything was heightened.
Twig break. Look, we're run.
Yeah, it was just this heightened sense of.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be aware because they can pop out of nowhere and they're going to hit you quick.
We got time for one more good hunting story. Tell us, you killed a big deer in Illinois that had a not only a big rack, but he had another set of big somethings,
big sack, big rack.
They all named him that.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the video of why they named him that. He went right in front of a trail cam and just stopped, and they're just dangling there.
I've seen that before.
I think I put it up, or you've seen that on trail cams. And
stuff? Yeah, it's like weirdly big.
So they named him Big Balls, and I was hunting Robert's stand because we did an acoustic show for him. So he let me hunt his spot.
This is in Illinois, right?
Illinois, yeah. And I killed a big buck the year before within like 20 minutes of the hunt. And biggest deer I'd ever killed. And then this one, there were some good deer around, didn't get any shots. And then Big Balls, and there was another giant, like 10, I think it was. Giant, wide, looks like a Texas deer. They start coming up a few hundred yards from the left. I'm like, it's when your heart stops. Oh, yeah. Just like, here we go. They got in. Yeah.
You're a bow guy, dude.
I love bow hunting.
Yeah, you're a bow guy.
It's just more
intimate, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
It's more fair, too.
I'm the same way.
But they come in, and the 10-point comes right at dark, right in front of me. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, here we go. My heart's pounding on my chest. I'm about to draw back. And I'm about to keep looking left because I knew Big Balls was with him. And this dude.
You assumed massive. He was, or you knew he was?
I knew he was from 200 yards away.
Oh, you saw him.
They were walking in, and I knew it was him. You could tell right away. It's just so thick.
Giant.
And, I think the other deer probably would have scored better. I think Big Balls was only like 163. But all of a sudden, I'm about to draw back, and I see Big Balls pop out. I'm like, shit, heart's pumping. That last 5 minutes of maybe be able to shoot him. And I couldn't decide. Finally drew back, couldn't see through pins at all. So I lost. Didn't kill either one.
Oh my gosh! Just
too
dark.
Yeah, it was too dark, and I wasn't gonna take that shot on those deer.
Yeah, right.
On
any deer. On any deer.
He was at 40 yards, which is a long shot, much less in the dark.
Right.
That time period in the afternoon when you can see outside your pins, but when you draw and you can't see your pins, it's so frustrating because you just have to sit there and watch.
And I had to get out.
You ain't going. I mean, you ain't going to. No ethical hunter.
No.
Right.
So the next week I go back, and everything was different. They were rutting hard, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see a doe pop up. I'm just kind of looking around, and big balls came from the same area. He's probably 30, 35. And
what time of day is this?
It was an afternoon hunt, probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock.
So you had some time.
I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And we looked for him in the dark. So it was close to dark, but I had a lot of light.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and it was just that instinctual thing where we're just like, meh. Give him one noise, and he stops and looks right at me. And I just poked him, and I heard it hit him, thought it was a good shot, but then as soon as I do it, I'm like, shit, was he 40 or 30? I don't know. Was it high? Was it low? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Inside of a bow hunter's brain.
He ended up dying within a minute, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I stroked him, and that was one of the coolest feelings ever, because you usually walk up to it and you're like, oh man, he maybe wasn't as big as I thought.
Yeah.
And I started freaking out. I'm just like, oh man. My God, he's huge.
Yeah,
and he wasn't wide.
He had it though.
Thick.
That's the Midwest deer.
That's a Midwest deer.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. Fast forward 7 more days, I'm in Chicago. Robert's like, man, you still got one more tag for shotgun for slug. Would you want to come back up? And I'm like, it's a night in Chicago. I kind of want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Probably not going to kill anything. I've already killed a giant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do it. Show up, have his shotgun, and I see a doe come in within 20 minutes of me in this stand. And she's moving fast. So I'm like, get ready. Something's got to be on her tail. And out of nowhere, this giant, I think he was a 9, because Big Balls was a 9. This one was a 9, but he's giant and wide. Walks out. I don't question it, and I just blast him, smoke him, find a ton of blood. I ended up going further than I thought, but double lunged him and just blasted him. First deer I've ever killed, I think, with a shotgun.
Dang.
That was weird. But
was that
so
last
within
year?
7 days I killed 2 160 inch deer.
That's awesome.
What did he
last
score?
year. I think he was like right at 161 or something.
God, that's Illinois. That's
or
Illinois
might be
for you,
157.
They growing big. They growing big up there.
Yeah.
Real big.
So I had a hell of a deer year last year.
Yeah, no elk.
I had a bad elk year, but I had a blast.
Yeah, I'll take a couple 160s in the same year.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
That'd be just fine with me.
He keeps sending me trail cam pics. He's got some giants down there right now.
That's awesome. Is that close to Chicago? Is that what you're saying?
It was a couple hours, I think.
Got you. So you just left after the show, didn't even stay?
Got on the bus, slept on the bus, and woke up and killed a deer within 20 minutes.
Life of a hunting artist.
I got so lucky. And I only had that morning. Like, I had to play a show that night.
So you hunted one morning?
One morning for that second deer.
That's awesome.
Big Balls I had to work for, which was cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what, man, what's next? I know you said you're going to do the I Hate Cowboys and the Going Down Singing record. What's in doing the acoustic thing with the songwriters? What's Chase Rice? Where's his passions lie within the next 5 years? What do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing?
It's a weird thing for me because something weird's going on with my whole career, which is I'm not having any mainstream success at all. I'm really not. But then we're showing up at shows. We're selling more tickets than we've ever sold. We're merch is skyrocketed, which is the biggest number of all, because that means people are buying into you, not just a song. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
It seems like a great place to be, dude.
It's fun because
go play shows, go play the songs you want to play. Go play the venues you want to play, and
yeah, we're turning into this artist that I think people just want to see. They want to buy into and believe in, which I don't think I had before. And I don't think I earned it before. So I'm gonna put out this acoustic, this Go Down Singing record. It's out. I'm gonna put out the Fireside Sessions, which is the acoustic stuff featuring the songwriters. And I think we're going to try to put out at least half a record beginning of next year.
Wow.
Just keep putting out not the same music, but just the mind space, the headspace that I'm in. Yeah. Keep writing as many songs as possible. Don't overthink it. If we write 6 songs, let's put them all out, unless one of them's just trash. But I'm not doing that anymore. It's like, I think we wrote like 14 songs for this next album, and we cut 11 of them.
Yeah.
All the songs are pretty good, so we're just going to keep writing a bunch of songs, keep putting them out, and hope something sticks. I don't know the formula anymore. I don't think anybody does. Like,
nobody does.
If one of them blows up on TikTok, cool, let's take it. If one of them goes to radio, cool, let's take it. But I think overall the music is good. People want to come hear it. They want to hear these albums, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Well, dude, congrats on everything. It feels like, just sitting here talking to you, and we've known each other for a little bit, it feels like I've never hung out with you with this much like freedom that you're talking with, like and like a good headspace, you know, and this good of a headspace. It feels like you're doing great, and the songs are reflecting that. And
well, I remember like writing with you, maybe Rhett years ago, and it was just like, I think I just heard a song before the write. It's like, man, let's write something like this. Like that thought hadn't even crossed my mind in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And so now it's like, I got this idea. Let's just write it.
See what turns.
See what happens.
And we wrote a song for the next album. First song off it is called "Cowboy Goodbye." Oscar had the idea. I started picking on the guitar and drop D, and we wrote that song. And it's gonna be the first off the next record.
Nice. You already got it going.
And it's gonna be featuring George Strait, right? I want it to. I don't know if George does collab.
Dude, speak it into existence, man. Speak it into existence.
George, let's go. I want George Strait on this song.
Sure that I'm in the wrong key.
Don't go Ingrid on us, dude.
Sure, that was important. You can't say that. That guy. I can't even remember the damn words, dude. Sing it.
I'm sure that was important. That thing you had to say. But it's that part of the show for the one that got away. We don't have to cut that out, do we? Okay.
Sheesh.
It's on social media, so you don't have to cut the internet.
It's time for the one that got away.
Yeah, Chase, and we do this thing called the one that got away. It could be a deer. In your case, it could be a girl. Usually, everybody that we talk to is married, so we're like, it could be a girl, but don't say a girl. It could be a girl. We get the one out there. Could be a fish, could be a duck or a dog, whatever you think. A song that you didn't get cut. It should have been a single. It should be all of those. What's the one that got away for you?
I mean, I feel like every girl I've ever loved has gotten away. So I'm not going there.
They all did.
They all did. I mean, that elk last year in Montana.
That's the one.
Would have been. I smoked him right in the middle, and everybody I talked to was like, "You had to hit him in the shoulder. There's no way your arrow wouldn't."
Really?
I'm like, I was this far away from the shoulder.
How much penetration was on the arrow? Did you get the arrow back?
About that much. It should have been one long. Yeah.
They can go a long way on one long.
Right. He may have died. He may have lived. We never found him, but that would be the elk that got away. The buck that got away was a giant 8-point on my farm here in Tennessee. Saw him on cameras forever. Saw him once in person. Absolutely huge. Probably 145-inch 8-point,
giant,
which is a big 8-point. Yeah. And then I got him. I was in a redneck blind over this one food plot I got. And it was dark. Didn't even have an arrow knocked. Like idiot. Like just knock the arrow as soon as you get in. And you're in a comfortable big ass redneck. I'm like, I'm gonna open the window just to see if like they have shades on them. Which I don't know. I took those down since, but yeah, I'm just gonna open and see if anything's out there. Just getting light enough. And I look and there's a back half of a deer. I'm like, oh shit. Look even further and it's him 12 yards away from me.
Son.
Staring right at me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah.
It goes, I knock the arrow. He walks away, looks at me, walks back, but he's staring at me. I can't draw back. Finally, I'm just like, I got to do something here. Yeah. End up saying screw it when his head's on the other side of this tree and he's eating all around this corn that we mowed down, which is legal.
Whew. You said mowed down. I was like, yeah, okay.
No, we mowed it up. We got a good little plan we do. And I don't know. I draw back. He's on the other side of the tree and all of a sudden as soon as I draw back, he like skirts off. I end up sending one like an idiot. Like, don't take the shot. He's literally not running away, but he's
leaving.
I was panicking.
Yeah.
And I sent one as soon as it hit got towards him. It hit something and went down on the rocks. Luckily, I guess. Whatever. Hits the rocks. I have a knock on the arrow, so I go find the arrow. Nothing's on it, I knew. Yeah. And I go stand where he was, and there was a huge branch between me and the blind I was in. I think I just hit that and it skirted off.
Sent it down.
Because it should have hit his body somewhere, but I would have never found that deer.
Yeah, probably best.
And I never hit him, and I've never seen him since.
Yeah, so, we're supposed to hit him.
That's the one deer that got away.
Isn't it funny how like I shot a big deer in Kansas last year, and then I've got really big deer hanging up on my wall, but like you think about the ones that that you didn't find, or you think about the ones that you couldn't get a shot at way more than you think about the ones that
Well, I was fishing that fishing trip in Alaska. We were talking about if you get get a 30-inch rainbow, you get on the picture on the wall. And hooked into one, thought I hit bottom, takes off, jumps. I'm like, holy hell.
Yeah.
It was close to a 30-inch rainbow, who knows. But get him down to the reel. I'm hanging on. I look at her. I'm like, I'll hang on all day. Like, I can do this all day. As soon as I say that, idiot, pop. Must have hit a tooth or something, completely cut the line. And I just throw my rod and reel. I'm just sitting there pouting.
Sounds like that.
And on that ride home, I was just like, you know what? Started writing this like poem or prayer. I don't know what to call it. But it said, thank you, God, for the fish today, even more for the ones that got away. For that you ask why I thank the Lord, because bent hooks and broke lines bring us back for more. Yeah. It's the same concept with hunting too. But I got a cool little prayer out of it.
Man, that's solid, dude. I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Gravorite tune. This is greatest / favorite song to you, country song. What do you think it'd be?
We were talking about Don't Close Your Eyes. That's up there. But
let's go. See what else you got.
The dance for me has always been
looking back. You're gonna have to help me. I don't remember. The dance we shared beneath the stars. Look, Reid don't even know it.
Oh, I do too.
Forever.
I don't need him.
All the world wasn't right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And is that right? I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. That our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the.
Dude,
come on, nobody said that yet.
I don't know how y'all sing at 9 in the morning. Whatever, 10 at the
Dude, you sound great.
Well, I'm a bad singer,
I
so
don't
I
know
can
if
sing
anybody
anytime.
said a Garth song. Have we had a Garth song?
I don't
yet?
think so. Wow,
Man,
that's crazy.
The dance for me
Dude,
was
the
like,
dance is iconic.
Tony
I danced
Arata,
with it,
dude.
like high school girlfriend. I remember dancing like some mountain when I was going away for college. I was like, this is it for us.
Dude, our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
I mean, it's incredible.
That's songwriting right there, man.
To me, that's
dude.
one of the greatest country songs of all time.
I'm with that.
I love it. Great way to wrap it up.
Chase, appreciate you being on.
Chase Rice. Thanks for coming.
You got anything? I thought you were going to go.
That was it. Everything's in G today. So.
Hey, y'all check out the new album, Going Down Singing. Man, it's a great song title. It's a great album title.
I read it and I was
I'm glad you did that. Yeah. Y'all go check it out. Check them out at Red Rocks. Where else you playing this year? You got some more shows coming up?
Oh God, we're everywhere. We've been with Dirks all year. We're kind of chilling in the fall because I want to hunt.
Hunting season.
Yeah,
me too.
Of course you are. So are we.
But yeah, Red Rocks is the big one.
So it's funny. We're chilling in the fall too. So maybe we should, reenact a little hunting count like back in the day.
Real
bro.
stuff.
Yeah,
and
we should
write songs.
That's all we're about, dude.
Thanks for hanging out in God's Country. We'll check y'all next time. Peace. Oh, God.